chicken, I'm going to add some celery, some onions, and some chicken bouillon cubes. And use those things to your taste. I'm going to cover it and let it boil. Oh, let's not forget our thyme or our butter. That's really going to give it some flavor. Yep, now we're going to cover so I can bring it to the boil that I mentioned. Like that. We'll continue to let it go though. And that's what we're looking for right there. For it to get really tender and fall off the bone. So now we're going to remove it. Remove the, the chunks of chicken. And set it to the side. And let it cool so we can then, pick the meat off the bone. My mother used to cook the whole chicken. And we would eat everything in the pot, including the veggies. But right here, I like to strain it, because you have a lot of small bones that come off of that chicken, and it just doesn't look as pretty. Not to mean it doesn't taste good, but by all means, if you like to keep those things in, keep them in. And see how nice that broth looks. I'm going to pour it back into the first pan because, just because you can see better, as opposed to that black pan, the black bottom in the other pan. See there? Beautiful. We're going to cover it and let it continue to simmer. Now we're going to make the dumplings, which is really an easy process. Not the biscuits that you get in the fridge. I mean, you get out of the cooler in the store. Not good at all. Don't like it. You'll appreciate them more. And so will the people that you love if you make them from scratch, which is, like I said, nothing. We're going to use 2 cups of self-rising flour. And I'm going to use the vegetable Crisco. Now, you can use the butter Crisco if you prefer, but this is what I choose to use. And I'm going to use about 2 tablespoons and maybe just a tad bit more. We're going to take this fork and we're just going to mash blend the shortening into that flour. And it doesn't have to be like beaded or like pea-sized pieces, because you're not making biscuits. Although this is the way you can make biscuits. It's almost exactly. But we just want to make sure that that it's blended well. And we're going to add some whole milk. Get it in there. We're going to use it little at a time until we get the consistency that we like. But you could also use water. You can use broth. You can use buttermilk. It's up to you. But today I'm using whole milk. White milk, sweet milk, whatever you choose to call it. And here also you could season it if you want. You can add some garlic or whatever seasonings that you like. I wouldn't recommend that you use salty seasonings, but you could definitely add seasonings into your dough. Just a little more. And just a tiny bit more. And like I said, you'll use it until little at a time. That's why you use a little at a time, because you don't want to use too much. But if you did add too much liquid, you could just go ahead and add a little more flour in. So don't worry about that if that happens. And we're almost there. Can you see the way it's pulling from the sides? This should really do it right here. Let's see. Yeah. Yep, and this is about it. I'm sorry if you're not getting a direct view. I'm gonna let you see though. See? See how the sides are almost clean? Mm-hmm. One more because hey, that's my baby girl there. She stopped by, and I enjoy our time together. It's usually short, but it's always sweet. She's sticking around extra long today because she wants some of these dumplings, and she's going to help me out a bit. So I appreciate it. I love my babies. So now we're going to add some flour here to our surface that we choose to roll our dumplings out on. Just get it all out of there and just plop it. There you go. Just plop it on. I have a mess to clean up, but it's all worth it. Gonna add some flour on the top. We're just gonna kind of knead it and roll it. Not roll it yet, I'm sorry, but just, mix it together. Go ahead, fold it. It's stuck a little bit, so we're gonna add some more flour. Fold it. Fold it. And do that as many times as you think is necessary. You'll feel it. You'll feel it. It's just right. But you can see how soft that dough is. That's the way you want it. You don't want tight dough. If you use all-purpose flour, that'll kind of tighten it up a little bit. Just my opinion. This is what I want right here. Okay, let's get ready to roll. Add some flour to your rolling pin or whatever you use. You can use a bottle, as long as the bottle is smooth. You can use a glass. You can use whatever you have that'll roll that dough out without the print on it, though. Want it to be smooth. So you should have one in your drawer. Just get your rolling pin. I have several. When I see, different ones that I don't have or that might work a little better for different things, I just pick it up and add it to my kitchen tools. Look at that. See how nice and smooth that's rolling out? And we want them thin, if I didn't say that before. Want them thin, unless you like fat dumplings, really thick, chewy dumplings. I don't. I like them to nearly melt in my mouth. Just a couple of bites and then they're gone. They're good like that to me. And see how it's stuck a little bit? So I'm just going to peel that off and I'm going to add some flour, some more flour, because we don't want it to stick. And we're just going to roll it out a little bit more. We're almost there. And you can also, like when you're making them, you can also make a bunch, several bunches and just cut them all up and then just use what you're going to use and take the other ones and put them in the freezer. Yeah. And when you're ready for more, you just grab them out of the freezer and use them. Make sure they're wrapped tightly though. Try to make it easier on yourself each time that you cook. Always try to think ahead. What can I make more of this and put it in the freezer? Less, so I won't make too much. You're just always thinking while you're in the kitchen. And as you can see, I'm just slicing them up. I'm just going to slice them in little squares. And if I didn't say it before, my mother used to just pinch them. She just when she get through kneading her dough, she just have that big ball of dough in her hand and she just pinch them off until they were all gone. And they would be so perfect. Just a perfect little dumpling. It wasn't a square or anything. It didn't really have a shape. All of them were shaped differently. And I didn't care what they were shaped like. They were just delicious. And let me show you again. See? That's how thin I'm making them. You can make them thinner, you can make them thicker. Up to you. There you go. And I always add a little extra flour after I'm done to make sure that they don't stick together. And then the little flour helps to thicken the broth. And here's my daughter here. She's just going to add the cream of chicken in. And you can use any kind you want. I also like cream of mushroom in there. And cream of onion is fabulous too. If you haven't tried it, hey, give it a try. I'm gonna get it all in there. Go ahead. Yum, yum, yum. And I'm kind of standing over it. She's probably like, Mama, go ahead. I know what I'm doing. I know how to move around in the kitchen too. But you know how you are about your kitchen. You don't mean no harm. You know, I have to learn to stand back and hold my hands behind my back and be quiet. I'm kind of directing her as if she needs it. But she did add some pepper. I love pepper in my dumplings, and that good old butter is just really gonna add some. It's gonna add some creaminess. It's gonna add some flavor, and it's gonna make them so good. Look, she's tasting. Yum, and it's good. Please believe me. You're gonna have to try it yourself to really get what I'm saying. So delicious. This is really a comfort food. Really warms your heart and your tummy and makes you feel good. So grandson wants to help. You know, I'm going to teach him how to make his own because he loves them too. And, you know, I always say it's nothing like a man that can cook his own food. So I'm going to show him, you know, at another time. We're going to do a video together where he makes everything. I'm just going to kind of do the direct. Get him in there, grandson. Go ahead, put him in there. You don't want to dump them in all at once because they'll glue and stick together and then you'll be upset. Like, I've ruined my dumplings. So just have some patience and just put them in there little at a time. Look at there. They look good already. Yeah. You just want to move them around now. Don't stir. Don't do that. Just kind of just like move them around just to prevent the sticking together. Look at there. We're just gonna cover and let that simmer. It'll boil over. Be careful. Look at it. Now we're gonna add. Well, she's adding the chicken. She ripped it off the bone for me. I appreciated that a lot. You know, I'm always welcoming some help. You know, then you have someone to talk to. Makes it go a little faster. Yeah, but she's adding that delicious chicken in, and it's moist. It's so good. Don't overcook it. Make sure you cook it where it falls off the bone, but don't just cook it and cook it and cook it. You'll make it dry. It'll get dry. You don't want dry chicken. Even though it's in that broth, you'll make that chicken dry and chewy. And now she's adding some dry parsley. Fresh parsley is best, but all we have on hand is dried parsley. It's gonna be it's good though. Not as pretty, but just as good. Yeah. Eating time is here. Get in there. Get in there. Adding some pepper because pepper in dumplings is everything. I'm having a good time in the kitchen today. It's a good time every time, but it's an extra good time today because, I have my family in there with me. And this is, the bone that you get out of the chicken. We call it the wishbone. And we would get together and break it. And first we'd make a wish or our wishes. And we break it. Whoever gets a big piece, that's whose wish would come true. And hey, she got it. But I'm sure we had one or two wishes just alike. And what was good for her was good for me and vice versa. It didn't matter. Whose ever dream come true, we are going to share it. And it's coming true. I'm a firm believer. Now is the best part. Can you see the anticipation on my face? Yes. I'm ready. We're about to eat, y'all. Yes, look at there. See how nice and creamy that broth looks? It's not runny or too loose or anything. Somebody's happy. It's nice and creamy. Yep. Ooh, some nice vegetables on the side would be good, though. Maybe some Brussels sprouts or something. We're about to eat, honey. Yes, look at that. Look at that. We're about to eat. Yeah, yummy for my tummy. Hey, I love you guys. And I thank you so much for watching. Hey, don't forget to pray. Okay, until next time, later. Look at that. Better make you some, I'm telling you. They'll love you for it. And one more time, just look at that. Just look.